Friends, the 14th of November, which is our Prime Minister's birthday, is celebrated every year as the Children's Day. Children's minds and hearts are molded by the ideals they cherish. It is essential for them to have what is called a vision of greatness. We become what we behold. Greatness as we view it is not the result of strength of mind or wide learning. It cannot be attained by the weak in spirit. It is essentially the outcome of self-discipline. Nayam atma balahinena labhyaha na medhaya na bahunashritena. Only by tyaga, self-denial, can we attain our goals. Nehru's whole life is this devotion to peace, passion for freedom, boundless love and concern for children's welfare. Today, he is engaged in disciplining the nation's enthusiasm and energy for the defense of our freedom and territorial integrity. His freedom from prejudice, from any trace of fanaticism, his universality of spirit should be absorbed by our children. Deep in our nature is reverence for life, and this quality should be strengthened by the training we give our children. They should develop respect for human dignity, decency, and freedom. Whatever difficulties we may encounter, these ideals should be preserved. All these years we have been engaged in obtaining for our children a higher and better future. We wish to give protection to the unfit, wish to care for the poor who cannot help themselves. Democracy means that the weakest in the land should be provided with the opportunities for self-development. We should not overlook the extent to which the scales are loaded against many children, the deaf, the dumb, the blind, and the other handicapped. There are no wicked children. There are only unfortunate children, unhappy children, and we should do our best to help them by providing them with facilities for the improvement of their physical and mental health. We live today in a society which is democratic and competitive, where the position of a person is determined by striving, not by status, by work done, not by inheritance and privilege. Position now has to be achieved as a prize in a competitive. It is our aim to build an opportunity state where careers are open to talent, character, and capacity, irrespective of all other considerations. The Indian Council of Child Welfare is doing its best, and I hope its activities will not be impeded much by our present emergency. Thank you.
Respected brothers and sisters, and especially teaching fraternity. Hope every child will remember us one day as Helen Keller did. The most important day I remember in all my life is the one on which my teacher, Anne Mansfield Sullivan, came to me. India is passing through learning crisis. National Education Policy 2020. 5 crore children are not able to read, must have increased multiple times by now. How fundamental rights can be achieved at a time like this is the biggest challenge. As our scriptures say, God incarnates to establish righteousness from time to time. We are at this point of time. Swami's mission task, as declared by Swami himself on his 60th birthday, is before us. With the duty assigned for me as a primary school teacher, I knocked all doors I know. UNICEF gave me the guidelines. NCRT, AFB supported my ideas. Teachers, principals, and children organizations, YouTube, friends who helped me in innumerable ways, many others whom I thank, each one of them wholeheartedly. Time is now for me to reach the child who is waiting for it, quality education. that can reach each individual child in India and the world. Their needs vary, but they all need peace. So I named it The Silent Indian Flag Speaks, Journey from August 15, 1947 to 2024. I pray and hope we will take a smooth road for the journey that will take a world tour. In my search, I found Anne Sullivan Massey, the miracle teacher, and her student, near savage girl of 7-year-old child. The first lesson was the lesson of obedience. I was inspired by the story to move ahead with my own children. This is the story I would like to share with the Hindu prayer Om Sahana Vavdu in the true spirit. We daily chant in many schools, but I encourage every school should start the day with their own prayers. My school development plan developed over the years, spanning more than a decade. I carry it like Srinivasa Ramanujan, who carried his notebooks he developed and finally found Hardy, who gave some thought over it and recognized a man who knew infinity. Jawaharlal Nehru, India's first Prime Minister and follower of Mahatma Gandhi, Chacha Nehru for children and celebrate his birthday as Children's Day, rightly said, I quote, Ramanujan's brief life and death are symbolic of conditions in India, of our millions of children, how few get any education at all, how many live on the verge of starvation. If life opened its gates to them and offered them food and healthy conditions of living and education and opportunities of growth, how many among these millions would be eminent scientists, educationists, technicians, industrialists, writers, and artists, helping to build a new India and a new world? Unfortunately, our system is still rigid and inelastic, due to which we are losing many Ramanujans, and it is our humble attempt to facilitate the only true solution, national education. I unquote. Even after making education a fundamental right of the child and accepting Child Rights Convention more than 30 years and national education policy completing 5 years and SDG on paper only, children are still dreaming and parents are waiting patiently. When Swami entered into our lives, there was no fear because he is here and will be with us always. This faith gave me the strength that is needed to keep going. Baba's Vidyavahini to understand and follow by every teacher. Chapter 7 The Goal of True Education. Man has to master two fields of knowledge. The first confers the means for living, Jivan Upadhi. The second confers the goal of life, Jivan Paramavati. The means for living are the things that can satisfy one's day to day needs. I unquote. We all should honor child rights so that we achieve human rights. The school development program was developed over the years. UNCRC India exceeded more than 30 years back, and human rights, forgotten long time back, must see the light of the day. I selected two poems from Bhartruhari Subhash Talu, one from Niti Satka and the other from Vairagya, the essence of Indian spirituality. Dr. Radhakrishnan, our teacher's teacher, rightly said, so long as one man is in prison, you are not free. It is time to prioritize child welfare. It is not only human brotherhood, we should live with 84 lakh species. As it is said, if the bees disappear from the surface of the earth, man would have no more than 4 years to live. Finally, today we remember Alfred Nobel and his philanthropy and the prominent Indian personalities who have received the Nobel Prize Tagore, Mother Teresa, Hargobind Khorana, C.V. Raman, Abhijit Banerjee, Kailash Satyarthi, Venkatraman Ramakrishnan, B.S. Naipaul, Amartya Sen, Subramanya Chandrasekhar, and from all over the world to inspire children. Listen to the silent Indian flag speaking, Jai Hind.